Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining. Today, with a broad range of topics from financial markets to having an impact about people and communities, from protecting one's digital identity to customizing the learning methods, we saw AI has become an integral part of today's world. Today, here at the Enable AI Summit, we heard industry experts talk and explain all of this in detail. Now it is the turn of the students who are the future of this industry to share their wisdom and perspective on the domain of AI. My name is Shri Rawal, Principal Investigator at Durham College, and I welcome you to the final discussion of the Enable AI Summit 2022. My guests are dear colleagues and fellow students Melissa Yi, Terence Yu, and Ram Shankar. Our discussion will focus on their experiences and recognize their outlook on this domain. I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce themselves and tell us something about their current roles. I'll start off with Melissa, who happens to be one of my classmates back in the days. Melissa, please take it away.
Thank you, Shrey. My name is Melissa. I am currently a software developer at a startup called Crave Retail, who specializes in retail technology, more specifically focusing on the fitting room, and also currently a principal investigator at the AI Hub for Durham College. I was previously a research assistant and associate, worked on over 10 projects over multiple phases, ranging in a bunch of different industries such as healthcare, real estate, education, and currently working on two projects that involve insurance and also I don't know what to call it, like a home cooking preparation. I specialize in building recommendation systems and also chatbots throughout the hub. So thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Terence, if you can please introduce yourselves and tell us something about your role.
So my name is Terence Yu. I'm a former student of Durham College in the AI program. I'm now working as a research assistant for the AI Hub. Part-time, full-time, I'm a cybersecurity consultant for Deloitte. I've been here working for for the AI Hub for just 6 months, but in that short amount of time, I've worked on 6 projects, and I've been loving it ever since. Thank you.
Awesome. Ram, if you can please.
Thank you, Trey. My name is Ram Shankar. I'm a research assistant at Durham College and Durham College alumni. I mostly work on computer vision projects at the hub. What I do is building AI models, augmentations, APIs, and deployment. And before doing this program, I have a bachelor's in computer science, and I used to work as a Python backend developer back in my country. And I'm very passionate about AI, developing AI systems and learning new technologies, I guess.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So here are we all people, a bunch of computer nerds, a bunch of AI geeks right now, just trying to talk our way through this discussion, talking just about AI. So let me start with a set of questions and again start with the Melissa in the same sequence. So Melissa, with your experiences at Durham College and about your education, and as you say, like you have been a part of the academic institution for quite a long time. So what was different about your studies at the Durham College?
So the one thing about Durham College is I actually did 2 of the graduate certificates here. My prior education experience is actually University of Waterloo. So coming into the college was a little bit of a different experience. Just moving from university to college is such a different experience. And I think that a lot of people like coming out of high school don't really think about that. They automatically think like, let me go to university, let me go to like your U of T's, your Waterloos, your like Queens, stuff like that, and not thinking about the opportunity that college can provide you. Because when I came to Durham College, I realized that there's a lot more hands-on work there that happens that at a university level you don't get. A lot of the times it's just very like, read this out of this textbook and you better understand it. And write it down for the test. While at Durham, you know, we get time to, we learn from the lecture, same thing, but then there's always time at the end to, you know, go over things and do something that's a little bit more hands-on. And I think that that's the main difference that I saw coming especially just like from a pure academic, like bachelor's degree, coming into something like Durham College where it's a lot more hands-on. You have the chance to work closely with your professors, lecturers, to figure out like exactly how to solve problems and stuff like that, rather than a lot of self-study that ends up happening at university.
Absolutely. And I do agree with one of the biggest point is problem solving, which has been one of the like, key elements of me personally, what I've learned at Durham College. Solve problems, do whatever you want to, but make sure that you have a solution. Good point. Okay, moving on towards Terence. Terence, again, same question. Can you explain something about what was different about your experience and studies at the DC?
Yeah, I agree with Melissa and Trey you have discussed. Yeah, what really got me into Durham College was when I was looking at all the possible options. I saw that they have AI hubs there, and I thought, okay, this is a great opportunity for me because not only will I be able to learn AI skills, I'll be able to apply them in terms of actual work. So yeah, this is unique because in most universities, you just like what Melissa said, you're just given your textbooks and you're supposed to just learn it. And to me, I'm more of a I learn more when I actually do it. And reading and learning through books is something that is used to as a prerequisite. But if I want it to stick, I want to be able to do it hands on. And yeah, another thing I like about Durham College is that they have a lot of they're addressing the needs of the region as well. Like AI Hub is there to solve technical advancements in the region, and then they recently launched like the Social Impact Hub, which is actually great because they're solving social inequality and diversity, which is something that's really impressive.
Absolutely. And again, textbook learning is, I would say, not the way to learn. And I always agree to this point. More hands on, the more experience that you have in your expert domain, that's it. That's all you want in terms of education. Ram, over to you.
So I totally agree with what Melissa and Terence have said, but I just want to add a couple of more points. And I was quite clear that I want to do AI when I'm considering my post graduation. And when I look into this program, there was two capstone projects. Usually colleges have one capstone project, and the AIDI program had two capstone projects, one in each semester. So right then I understood this would have a lot of hands-on experience, a lot of practical implementation. And when I came here, when I experienced this, not just these projects, all other courses are individual projects as well. So there was a massive amount of hands-on experience, and even these professors were so keen on individual participation. So everyone kind of contributed a lot. And one thing that mainly stood out for me in this with this program is that there was this course called consulting and communications. So I knew what consulting was because I used to work in the industry for some amount of time. But this program has given a very different perspective from the AI lens, how AI is transforming the consulting space. And luckily, I was taught by a professor, Ali Urji, the head of AI and cybersecurity research. So it was a different experience. And as everyone knows, that there's this AI hub where students can work and get some real Canadian experience while studying, and it's something amazing. So that was something different for me with this Durham College.
Absolutely. And consulting has always been one of the key factors over here. And when learning about consulting, I always imagine that, okay, it is going to be about talking, talking, talking. That is all. But no, when I personally learned consulting at DC, my major experience was realization of the fact that, okay, this is not just paperwork or talking. It's more about understanding or a deeper understanding of the whole subject, the whole concepts and stuff. And amazing point, I would say.
And it was unique as well. I didn't see this program in any other
Mhm.
AI courses in other colleges.
Absolutely. And again, it's the same thing where you want to learn something new, you have to make a shift on the perspective which you're doing it. Because if you're just going to like open books and read some letters which are printed over there, you're not going to learn anything. It's about the perspective, it's about the industrial expertise which we have gone through. I think that was the most strongest point. All right, good answers, guys. Moving on to the next set of questions, which I have ready, I would say for all of you. So, Melissa, back again to you. Why did you choose to study AI? Because we saw DC has a good amount of experience in hands-on learning, I would say, and AI has is like one thing which is common, and we share all four of us share that thing. So, why personally did you choose to study AI?
So when I first decided I wanted to go back to school, I initially was looking at programs in the data analytics kind of sphere, not necessarily AI and machine learning. I was a lot more interested in figuring out data because I'm a little bit of a sports nerd. So I was like, how can I use data to get ahead in my fantasy sports leagues? Stuff like that, and you know, numbers and stuff like that, they just interest me. So initially I had gone and I said, okay, Durham College, you know, I am from Durham, so it's a convenient location for me. This is a new program, it's interesting, not a lot of places offered it, so I went in to go into the data analytics graduate certificate. Upon doing that, it's a lot more focused on the results, which is great. You learn a lot about like gathering insights from data, but you don't really get into the nitty gritty of it. It was kind of more like, we're going to use this algorithm and these are the results you're going to get, interpret the results, which is good. But I'm kind of more of the person that's like, I don't want to just accept that these are the results. Like, how did we actually get there? So then that year they developed the AI program that I was like, okay, this is going to scratch that itch for me and figure out how do I get into like a lower level into learning machine learning AI to get the algorithms, to then get the results, to then interpret them so I can win all of my fantasy football leagues. That did not happen, by the way. So yeah, that's really how it was, like kind of like just stepping stones into it and then realizing like, hey, this is really neat. And now like working at the AI Hub, like I get to work on all sorts of different kinds of projects and it kind of just built from there. And I'm just like, let's just keep this train rolling. Love it.
Absolutely. And I would say this comes back in stitches to your opening comments where you mentioned like you worked in healthcare, you worked in household items, you worked in industrial sectors and corporates, and every individual. Personally, for me as well, one of the key elements at AI Hub was working in almost every different individual sectors. And that has been like spectacular. You're not stick to a single domain. You are working in AI, but again, you're gaining knowledge from multiple domains. Brilliant example. Turns over to you the same question. Why did you choose to study AI amongst all the IT domains or the ones from your experience?
There were actually two factors that helped me decide on taking AI. First, in my previous experience, I've worked with a lot of data and like millions of records a day, and it's very difficult to be able to find valuable, usable insights from all of those data. And I knew it back then that yeah, this is inefficient. Going through that manually is never going to be the way, and it's better to use the AI to be able to get those information and use the AI to act upon them. And the second reason is that I've always been passionate about cybersecurity, and AI and cybersecurity are two interrelated programs that are hand in hand, working hand in hand to protect our data. And that is something that is relevant now because all of us, all our lives are practically in the internet and all our data is there. And yeah, I don't want my stuff. I don't want my data to be accessed by someone who I don't approve of, and I believe everyone else has the same beliefs. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that stitches to the conversation which from one of our earlier sessions, managing digital identity and how to secure those processes. Amazing examples. Ram, over to you. The same question. Why did you choose to study AI?
First of all, AI is so cool. Okay, and AI is making some really fancy transformation across various fields. And if you can see, Tesla self-driving cars. That's one of the reasons I am more into computer vision. I love computer vision. But personally, for me, that was not the main reason. I landed my first job as a Python developer in an AI startup, and I am in AI teams in these people are talking all these fancy things like computer vision, the predictions, testing, and all these accuracy, and it was all kind of seemed so interesting. So, and seeing these projects and the platforms, MLOps platforms we have built, I was so intrigued, and I started following, taking AI seriously. I started watching tutorials and eventually landed up in Coursera and learned from the legendary Andrew Ang. And but yeah, I did work in ML projects, but I always felt there is this gap in AI. So I wanted to take my time off the industry and dig deep. But after coming here, I'm still working at the hub. I don't feel like I took a gap. I am still working with clients and working with data and multiple projects.
Absolutely. And I agree with you that I actually think that Andrew Ang's course of Stanford University was like the most key factor which every single one of us started AI. I mean, me personally, my first course was his. I learned the basics of AI and machine learning from that point. And for any viewers who are like listening to us right now, Andrew Ang's Stanford University course, amazing one. Go for it, learn it. Not selling it, trust me, it's a good one. Okay, so good answer, good set of answers from all of you. Now, I want to talk to a little about from education to how industry factors matter. Let's see from Melissa and her perspective that how did DC prepare you for the industry? Because we saw that DC had a different set of education or perspective and outlook on it. We saw she chose the AI perspective as well. Now let's see that how did DC prepare you mainly for the industrial sector in AI?
So I think that this kind of just wraps back around to my first answer. Like there's a lot of hands-on stuff that gets done that you feel like you have done stuff before in class or whatever, where you haven't just read it from a book and you're expected to just apply it. Like we do capstone projects in our AI program, we did two. In data analytics, there is one. So over the course of 2 years, I did 3 capstone projects where you actually have to use real life data and figure out like solve whatever issue that comes up or whatever your capstone project is. Mine, a couple of mine was figuring out heart murmurs, trying to classify those. I did a clothing classification one for our AI program. So doing those kinds of hands-on things really helps you because you're not just assuming that you have all the technical knowledge and then like, okay, go try it, right? Like we've actually had to do it in class.
Yep.
And so like you don't feel like you're completely just like a baby bird just like tossed out on out from the nest, go fly. And at the same time, like especially with AI, there's the AI hub, right? And I think if you are at doing the AI program, you have already heard of the AI hub, and it's like they really push it on, not like push it on you, but they encourage you to go and join it because they know that you'll be able to get really valuable experience from it. And it's like not a well-kept secret in that program that you can get really good experience. And then also like with all the partnerships that the AI hub has, right? You can talk directly to industry partners that do projects at the hub, and you have the chance to come to, for instance, these conferences and the other ones that Durham College also participates in with CyberX, to meet and talk to all these people to help you prepare and network and figure out like I like AI, which part do I want to go into, right? Do I want to go into computer vision? Do I want to do recommenders? Do I want to do chatbots? Do I want to go to cybersecurity, right? You have all these methods of finding out exactly what you want to do. At the same time, you get to actually do that and then figure out for yourself at the same time.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. Now, let's look at Trent's perspective, who comes from an actual industrial background. And again, he came to an academic institution to learn. So, Terence, from your personal experience, coming from the industry, back to academics, and now back again to industry, can you put a few comments on how did DC prepare you for this industry which we are seeing right now?
Yeah, I'd like to bring about 2 courses that are important. I think that are relevant to anyone who's going to be working in the Canadian industry. Like, the first is actually the one that's teaching you how to do your resumes and your cover letters and your LinkedIn profile. It's for me, although I've already done that, I have to approach it from the Canadian industry perspective, right? So by doing that course, it helped me shift my view and the way I sell myself to be able to apply it properly in the proper context. And that I think is important. And yeah, and the second one is actually the same course that Bram initially mentioned, the consulting course. Yeah, it's helped me to be able to not just think of solutions to technical solutions, right? Because we are so used to just looking at the current problem and finding out technical solution, but we have to think about it in terms of a business side. Because even if yes, we are able to solve the problem right now, but does that make sense in the long term? So yeah, being able to look at it in terms of both the technical side and the business side, it's really something that helped me be able to and help me prepare in terms of applying it into the industry.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you where if you want to work in AI, you have to recognize the business importance of it as well. You have to learn the domain, how it functions, not in extremely in depth, but how to need to have a brief idea on how the industry works just to implement AI over there. Ram, over to you. Same question. How did DC prepare you for the industry?
Yeah, like earlier mentioned, and what how Melissa mentioned it, like there are a lot of projects and assignments, and these assignments are individually a big project on its own. It involves deployment as building a ML model and deploying. So you can actually showcase all this to a hiring manager when you are applying for jobs, and you can push all these codes to GitHub and host these, and you can actually show and land a good decent job, and you can show that you are working a lot and you have a lot to show and you have a good amount of experience in AI. And another thing, Terence said, the subject was careers and portfolio. I believe it was my second semester, and my professor was actually a hiring manager. So he has evaluated my CV in various stages, and he has given me very good feedback and how to change it. And there was a lot of change. There was a lot of change actually, and even eventually through his classes, there was a lot of he conveyed what to do, what not to do, what are some of the mistakes that people do. It was really important. And the main thing is working at AI Hub, interacting with clients. And when you talk to these clients, when you work in these projects, you will actually get to know what they expect of you. What is your level of information and what is the level of knowledge you actually want to survive in this industry, and what, or if you don't get this in future, you will struggle a lot. So that is something. And another important thing is you'll get to work with a lot of cool data sets, not something with in Kaggle, but it's really intense data sets. So, and being part of the hub, I got opportunities to volunteer and become participants in multiple conferences and events. And when you attend these events, you build a lot of you grow your network, which is really important in Canada.
Absolutely. And I would actually pick one of your points, which is communicating with the clients, which plays an extremely vital role when you are developing any product, be it of AI, be it of software or website even. Communicate with the clients and recognize their exact needs on what they want to. After all, it's them who you're building it for, right? So again, great points. All right. So last set of questions for all of you. Melissa, again, I'll begin with you. So, and this is something for upcoming students, and they need to know something about the hub, they need to know something of the DC. So, also for the AI ones as well, what is your specific set of advices with all these years and experience with DC to the incoming students?
I think that my one piece of advice would be don't be afraid to like try whatever you want. Like I remember when I first went to the hub, I was very nervous. I was like, oh my God. And Emmett, if you guys know him, Emmett Mirage, he was the one that founded the hub. He was the one that created the AI program. He interviewed me and I was like, I don't know if I have any knowledge of whatever's going on. We'll just see. He asked me a question and I 100% didn't know the answer to it. And I was like, okay, well, I just bombed that. It's fine. I don't need to work for the hub. And then he, I guess, was like, that's fine. Like, we'll just move on. And I got hired. And I think that, like, if you go in with the mindset of like, this isn't going to work out, like, it's not going to be great. I think that you should just, like, coming in, just be open-minded about what could happen. That worked out for me. I think that a lot of people that are at the hub and at Durham are super friendly. They'll always lend a hand to help you out. And if you want, like, if you have the time and you're coming and you're planning on trying to apply at the hub, just stop by, say hi. Like, there's usually a few people there. And as the COVID restrictions are easing, a lot more of us are coming back in. You'll see Shrey, you'll see me, you'll see Terrence and Ram there too. So I think just, like, don't be afraid to kind of, step out of your comfort zone a little bit, because you could learn a lot. I wasn't even sure if I was going to apply to the hub because I didn't think that I was going to be any good at it. And here I am 3.5 years later, living the dream. Now all the way up as a principal investigator, very honored, very grateful that I've been able to do this for so long. So you never know what's going to happen. I think that if you just go in with an open mind, like, you'd be surprised at yourself.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And that specific point where you're nervous stepping in the hub, the first step, that's the key.
The one thing is that, like, when you walk into the hub, it seems very sterile. Like, everybody is super quiet and will just look up at you when you walk in. But I swear, we're not mean. We just are like, someone's going to come and see us? Us here? They want to visit us? We're very happy to see visitors, but don't be afraid to just, like, walk in.
Absolutely. We're cool people. We don't bite. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're nice.
Exactly. Okay, Terence, what would be your advice to the upcoming students?
To follow what Melissa said. Even for me, whenever I have a new project, I always have butterflies in my stomach. It's like, do I have their skills to be able to complete this? Do I even know how to proceed with this? But yeah, a lot of the people you meet in the hub are very helpful, and yeah, you just go there, ask questions. They will definitely help you. That's one thing I really like about working at the hub and being in Durham College. Also, that's something that I would advise everyone, is just use the resources that you have there. Like, there are so many resources that you can use. You can have, like, not just for educational purposes, there's even support for career, and yeah, there's so much things you can use. Yeah, that's my advice to you. Just go there, ask questions, look for people, and you will definitely find someone to help you.
Exactly. It's all about showing up. That is all you have to do. Even though you don't have any skills or something, we'll teach you. At the end, it's a learnable skill. None of us knew when we were dropping in. I would be the dumbest person because I just walked in knowing nothing. Here I am moderating these amazing set of people over here. All right, moving on to the last person in the room. Ram, please, if you have any advices for the incoming students, share your wisdom over here.
All right. So, first of all, Durham is an amazing college. It's an amazing space, and the AI program, it's amazing. You get to learn a lot of things. And something I missed out on is that I never thought in this single program I work with 4 cloud providers: Heroku, GCP, AWS, and Azure. It's something I didn't even imagine. So if you put in the right effort, and another thing is, don't keep your assignments towards the last minute. It's too much. Like, you have so much projects and assignments, so complete as it goes in the right time, and really pay attention to classes, because there's a lot of learning, not just these practical implementation. And try to build a good portfolio, because you're doing a lot of projects and assignments. Just upload to GitHub, do a blog, write a blog, or do a demo video, and get into AI Hub, work on some cool projects, talk with clients, and network, and try to get noticed by Ali, our principal investigators and clients, and you'll never know, they might hire you. So, and rejections are part of the game. Even I didn't get into AI but at the first shot. It took some time, but here I am. So don't hold back. Like, even if you get rejections, try again, work more and try again. And if there's some volunteering opportunities, sign up for it. You'll never know who you're going to meet at that event. And that's how I ended up in the CyberX event, and I got to meet a lot of people. And I'm so excited, and even in the next one, I'm definitely gonna come because I witnessed it. So that's it. Dharam's a good college. So have a good studies career.
Yes, do your
Absolutely.
homework and go to class. That's
Your
the main
homework.
advice. Go
Biggest
to
thing.
class, listen to your professors, do your homework.
Finish your assignments. There'll be a lot. That's the biggest advice right
Just
now.
pass. You have to pass.
Amazing discussion, guys. Amazing discussion. We learned quite a bit from here. From going to not procrastinating with the assignments towards learning on how to communicate with people, just showing up, the biggest thing of all. I think we learned a lot from the DC students over here, and it would be like huge amount of wisdom if all show up. At the end of the day, it is different because we are having hands-on learning. It is more about experiential learning, and the more you are hands-on with the industrial sector, the more you're hands-on with writing code right on your own. It's all right. Fail, you will pass eventually. At the end of the day, it is how you perceive the whole AI domain. Great discussion, guys, and very interesting outlook. As I said, DC is preparing you for future endeavors in the jungle of AI. I want to close off the summit by thanking everyone whose hard work made this event so successful. On a personal note, I want to thank Ali Hirji, who is like mentor teacher to all of us over here, especially to me, an elder brother as well, under whose guidance I'm sitting here in front of you. I want to thank the sponsors, the management, and all the people working hard, really hard behind the camera. I really want to name all of you, but again, it will take like we'll be sitting until 6:30 if I was naming all. So on the last note, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for all the hard work, and I hope to see you all next year.